Every year, spring comes round and there is so much to do in the garden. However, for me, there are just a few tasks that I absolutely adore and love and look forward to doing. And ironically enough, they all relate to pruning. So today I thought I'm going to show you some of the tasks that I think are vital, and not just the fact that they help plants really get going for this time of the year. They're just so fun to perform. So we're going to look at a few prunings, a few plants that I always recommend pruning. And although this can be done at various times of the year, certainly a little bit earlier in spring even, I quite enjoy and like waiting for this time when I can really sense that the weather's changing. I can sense it's getting warmer. I do feel that most risk of frost is potentially over. And you can clearly see on these hydrangeas, which will be the first example I show you of how to prune and what I do as part of the enjoyment of this time of the year, is that the green buds are really starting to open and give it a fresh look. So now that I feel confident that they will be absolutely fine, it's the time to prune. So let's start with this one, and then we'll move on to some of the other jobs that certainly create for a lot of excitement this time of the year. Right, so I've got my shears here, and all I do is inspect the plant and I go down to the very first bud. Now, with Mophead Hydrangeas, you just need to know that it will flower on the old stems. So it's best not to cut too far down. Obviously, if you want to control the size of the plant, you can. So just go down to the next buds and prune right there. And these are just lovely. I find them so ornamental, decorative, although on this occasion, I'm probably just going to add them to the compost heap. Some of them don't have buds directly underneath, so I think obviously just take them down to where buds might form, and they'll just help themselves along. And there you have it, looking quite a lot fresher. I'm interested to see that there aren't buds everywhere, and I do wonder if those will flower. Perhaps if you know whether those stems are due to flower or not, you can let me know in the comments. So let's move over to this one. These seem to be a little bit more green on the underside. I really do love hydrangeas, and I quite like them in pots as well, because I feel that they're slightly more protected from very cold weather. And also, one year I had a big problem with slugs and snails eating away all the new emerging foliage. So since then I've kept them in pots and they seem to enjoy it. The only thing with them is you do need to keep on top of the watering, because as the name suggests, hydra water is what they love. Right, that looks good. And then the very last one is this one, which does not have a lot. It didn't flower very much last year because it was still quite young. I'm just going to take it down like that and like that. And then they should all be good to go. Perfectly happy. So now that the hydrangeas have been pruned, let's move on to the next one, which is a perennial known as Verbena bonariensis. And now is a great time to really cut them down because, as I will show you in a few seconds, the new growth is just starting to appear. And I've left them over the winter because the seed heads do attract birds and do provide some shelter for insects. But now that things are warming up, I feel confident that I can remove those bits and bobs and let the new growth really get going. So here are the verbenas. They're looking a little bit untidy at the moment. I don't know if you can clearly see the plants here because there's a lot of green around them. But yeah, I've left them like I said, and I think now is a good time I will bring the camera a little bit closer and I'll show you the new growth that is starting to come out. But really with these plants, there's no rule, there's no right and wrong. They can be pruned right back down and they'll grow and emerge from the base basically. So I'm going to assess them and maybe take them down to about 30 or 40 centimeters. And wherever you cut them, basically, they will just resprout. So let's go. And there you go, another task done and dusted. They are much shorter, they're really where I would like them, and this just allows the plants to get as much light and air as possible, which will really help them prioritize growing and putting growth into the new stems. So happy with that, one of those fun tasks. And now we move on to the third one, which again is pruning, this time of the herbaceous perennials. Let's go. Over here we have some oregano, and as you can see, these dead stems from last year have been left over winter to again provide some shelter and protection, but now is the time to remove them, and it really just opens up the plant and really gives it that sort of fresh look, which absolutely is key for this time of the year to also make it look a little bit more spring-like. So I'm just going to remove all this dead material, and then what I'll do is I'll actually just leave it on the side so that any insects or any creatures that have overwintered or are nesting might just crawl back, and just allows them to find their way rather than moving them straight to the compost heap, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. I mean, they're not going to be disturbed there for a while. So yeah, this is just so therapeutic, cutting away all this dead growth to then really expose the fresh, brand new green coming through. Perfect. Very happy. And then the last bit of pruning that we'll be doing today is this herbaceous perennial. So these are Scabious, and you can see there's a lot of dead material here. Cut them right back. These are meant to be annuals, but I found for me that they grow a little bit as a perennial or a short-lived perennial. I'm not always sure if they will come back, but so far I've been lucky. But certainly, even if they don't come back out of this dead material, removing it will just allow light to penetrate the bed and border a lot better. Another thing you can do with all this dead material is just chop it into finer bits, which is called chop and drop, which also just serves a little bit as a mulch. So it's absolutely beneficial to the bed and to the quality of the soil over time. It will be worked in by all the insects. But yeah, just such a satisfying job to do, really and truly. So there you have it, just a few pruning tasks for this time of the year that I really enjoy doing and sharing. Hopefully, you are able to do the same in your garden, even if it is a variety of different things to prune. Let me know in the comments what you're pruning, or perhaps you're waiting a little bit longer. Maybe you aren't quite so confident that all the cold weather has passed. Either way, plants are super resilient, and they really do just manage to adjust and adapt on their own without our intervention, and that's always something really important. Also, please ensure that you subscribe if you don't want to miss any other content like this. I will be doing a lot of videos building up to the spring and summer, and I hope to see you in all of them. Until then, bye bye.